Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. How are you, Cappies? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Got a deck we're going to use here today for the overall energy for the week next week. I'm always reading for the week ahead if you've never been here before. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. I hope you'll stay and join this beautiful tribe. If you've been here before and you're my ride or die, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. And so this is the Places Oracle, I think it's called. And we're going to use this one first. We'll get some tarot on it, find out what's going out for the week ahead. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to find the extended if you're interested in that. I'm also going to tell you how to find your way to a private reading. If you're interested in doing that, I'll tell you all about the sales. Let's find out what's going on for Capricorn. Okay, here we are. We've got the fuel station. Capricorn, feels like you need to take a time out. You need to put yourself a time out for a bit, Capricorn. It says refueling, stop, convenience store, recharging station. It feels like in the week ahead, you're probably going to take some time alone, or I hope you will take some time alone. We've got the coffee house. Look, maybe you'll meet friends there, but maybe you'll go alone. Maybe you're a person who likes to do that sort of thing, go to a specialty coffee place. It says artisanal brews is what it says here. Pastry indulgence, coffee, tea. And then we have the museum. Okay. It feels like there's some thinking that you need to do, and I feel like you need to think about something alone. The fuel station tells me that maybe you just need to refuel or spend some time alone by yourself. And for some of you, maybe if this resonates with you, you might do it by finding, sort of a coffee house that's off the beaten path, some place that has specialty brews and makes specialty indulgence pastries, things like that. But because we've got the museum here, it says artifacts and exhibits, it says interactive displays and museum collections. This is a place of memories. It's a place where they store memories, things we don't want to forget about, or maybe things we wished we could forget about. But it feels like there's some things in the museum at the end of the week, things that you're recalling. We do have a place of remnants. It says nostalgia, memories, sentimental, childhood reflection. So I feel like for somebody here, you're working things out. I feel like you're going to be taking some time away or some time by yourself to get away and figure out something that has been on your mind. Feels like you will be reminiscing on old things, right? Things from the past, things that you have no control over right now, Capricorn. But I think you're trying to sort something out is what it feels like here. Tell me more about Capricorn, please. For the week ahead, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. You're running out of fuel, Capricorn. It's time for you to get to the charging station. Tell me more about Capricorn, please. We've got the Emperor. So Capricorn, again, I think that you are carrying too much. You might be carrying it all, in fact. The Emperor is the one that does carry it all, right? The entire empire, which is made up of all of the kingdoms. So you could be a person who owns multiple businesses, or maybe, I've never met a Capricorn who doesn't have their finger in every pie. Somebody who's like helping the neighbor, but is, getting up on the ladder to help somebody clean the eaves troughs, even though they're wearing the beautiful outfit they just came home in, right? Like I feel like it feels like you're carrying everything. The Emperor is the one who is stable and secure, and so a lot of people will depend on the Emperor or want the Emperor's help. And I feel like you are probably a person that others see as an emperor. The Emperor is someone who is masculine leaning, someone who is always winning, or is perceived as having it all together or all under control. And so I feel like this is what you're presenting to everybody. You're presenting to everybody, look, I got it all under control. I got all the kingdoms under control. Everybody reports to me I'm good, but I really do feel that you're running out of energy, or it's time for you to take a moment or take a beat for yourself here and do a little bit of charging or refueling. I think that a lot of people have been using you as the convenience store. So instead of doing the hard work, they take the shortcut, they skip to the good part, and they just ask the emperor. Talk about the coffee house. We've got the judgment card. So this is the place where I feel that you will make some decisions. It feels like there's something about the atmosphere of the coffee house that allows you to maybe feel a little bit creative thinking possibly. Maybe you're a person who is really creative when you drink coffee. Caffeine will sometimes do that. It will stimulate the body, stimulate the brain. But I feel like because it says, this seems like a place that's off the beaten path. This isn't just your regular coffee house. This is not Starbucks. This is like a homegrown, somebody hand makes their pastries in the back. Like it feels like you go there as a place of inspiration, possibly, because it is that kind of atmosphere. I feel like the judgment card is here because you're going back to this place, and you are going back to this place because I feel like you're feeling nostalgic next week. Feeling nostalgia, looking at things from the past, things that maybe you have kept in your memory bank here with the museum. Tell me about the museum, please. We've got the World card. Oh, so look, I feel like this is the place where you go to make decisions, to think about things. It's like how things come full circle. That's what it feels like here. That's why I'm doing this. Like it feels like things are coming full circle. It feels like you are sorting things out. It's the place of remembering or nostalgia or memories, but I think that you're realizing that those things are in the past and there's no way to recall them. There's no way that you can go back to the past and change the future by correcting the past. There's no opportunity to correct the past. So it feels like this museum, it feels like you're closing the door here. It feels like you are closing the door or shifting yourself out of nostalgia or out of these old thoughts. Let's talk about the fuel station here. I think that this is what is running you low on your energy. It almost feels like an energy pull. And I feel like it's all in the mind. I'm going to say it does feel like it is in the mind. It feels like, but the thing is the truth is when it's in the mind, it makes the body feel a certain way. So I feel like we're also talking about judgment here. Tell me about the Emperor and the fuel station, please. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Death card. And we have the Ten of Cups. This does feel like there is something pulling on you to the past, but it does feel like you're ready to let it go. The Death card is here, and it is transformation. It's time to just set it aflame and let it burn to the ground. The Two of Cups is here. Look, the Emperor could be you. Who I think for some of you it is somebody who's carrying everything all the time and makes it look easy. But I feel like the Two of Cups connected to the Emperor might tell me that what you're trying to release or let go of, or what's in the past that can't be fixed or changed. It feels like this is something that you realize you have to let go. I think that the realization is it's really hard to let go because of the Ten of Cups, and that's because it wasn't all bad. I feel like the Ten of Cups tells me that this could be a family member, or this could be someone that you thought of as family, or someone who you had a lot of happy times with. But I also feel it was a complete drain on your happiness. It was a drain on your energy. So I feel like the Death card is telling me it's your time to let it go. And so I feel like in the week ahead, there is a bond that you are deciding to close the door on permanently, because you have so many other things on your plate. It's really hard for you to be able to carry those memories, as well as carry everything else that you've been carrying with you. It feels like you have the literal empire on your shoulders, and so maybe you're supporting the neighbor, maybe you're supporting your kids, or you know what I mean? Like it feels like friends and family and kids and maybe businesses, and like you have a lot going on here. So we have this rebirth process that's going on, and it really does feel like it feels like something is ending, right? This death energy is here. And the Judgment card says, if it should come back round, what do I do with it then? I think that the coffee house, or this sort of, maybe, the coffee house is in your kitchen. Maybe you have the most luxurious coffee maker or specialty coffees, or maybe it's something that you're indulging in doing for yourself. Maybe you're the one who loves the ritual of making it for yourself or making the indulgent pastry. It doesn't necessarily have to be at a coffee house. I feel like it's the feeling, though, of the coffee house. We have the Two of Swords. So I feel like the Two of Swords tells me that there's a little bit of a block or a really important decision that you have to make. And I think that this decision is something that is hard to make because, one, there's nostalgic things that are stuck to it, and it feels like it has to do with family, community. It has to do maybe with a job. Maybe you've been at a job, or maybe you have a business that you're looking at selling, and it feels like the Ten of Pentacles is something, it's a decision that's so important that it's going to set the stage for the next long while. So maybe for the next 10 years here. Tell me about the Ten of Pentacles. And we've got the Nine of Swords. So this is really something that I feel you keep looping back to because you can't necessarily let it go, or every time it comes to your vision, every time it comes back around, it comes to the front and faces you, I feel like you might turn away. I don't think that you can do that anymore. I think the reason you turn away is because it's a hard decision to make. The Two of Swords tells me that every time it shows up, you block yourself from it or stop thinking about it. But I think that you're finally maybe on the road to complete healing, which is, some of us are like, yeah, I've healed from that. That's no problem. If that person ever came back, I think that I would know how to handle it. But I feel like you've already let it go physically. Now I think that you're trying to let it go mentally is what it feels like here. So the Judgment card tells me the universe is bringing it back, and the universe always will understand, to the Two of Swords. When we're ready to go on a new cycle, which is what you're doing here, when we're ready to push forward into a new vibration or a new cycle, the universe brings us back to the twos. The twos are always about decisions. And so this particular one is one of the hardest decisions you've had to make because it involves cutting something out with the swords, right? And so I feel like every time we are ready to ascend or go to the next part of our life, which you are with the shift here, you're being asked to make a decision that is going to finally and literally cut something, someone, a place, a situation out of your life. The world is here with the museum. It's time to close the door on the artifacts. It's time to close the door on the collection of ideas and memories, and it's time for you, possibly it could be, look, if you've got things in your home from someone that you no longer associate with because of something that you maybe you don't want to associate with them anymore, that would be an article of clothing, or maybe a picture frame, or maybe something that jogs the memory about something you're keeping in your museum. It's time to get rid of it and close the door on it. That's the only way that you're going to be able to. I think that this thought, because the Ace of Swords is here, this thought really breaks your heart or disappoints you still. And I feel like it's hard to get rid of here. The King of Pentacles is Taurus, and Taurus hangs on to everything because they're very loyal. And I feel like it's no different for you, Capricorn. I feel like you're having a hard time releasing something and cutting it out because you're very, very loyal. All of the earth signs are. And I mean, you don't have to be an earth sign to be loyal. But the World card tells me it's time for you to finally say that's enough. It's time for you to finally close the door. And we've got all the fixed signs here: Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. And they all move very, very slow because they're doing this once. I'm going to give you a chance, and then another chance, and then another chance. But when I say no, it's done. I've cut it out, and I'm never going back there. So I feel like what is in the museum are artifacts, things that you might have around the house. Literally, they might be 3D things because the King of Pentacles is here. They could be articles that it's time for you to give to Goodwill, or give to a friend, or maybe just take out into a bin in the back and burn it. But I feel like it's time for you to cut it away from your life here. So I think that you've been living in a place of reminiscence. You've been living in nostalgia and memories and sentimental or childhood reflections. Look, some of you maybe had a hard childhood and maybe you just want to get rid of it. But there's some things in the museum that need to be cut out because they cause heartache, Three of Swords, and it's hard for you to let go of them. I feel like you're about to do that. You're going to close the door and be done with it. Look, we're going to go into the extended and we're going to talk more about this. We're going to clarify all this first. Then we're going to talk about the 3 cards that I'm about to put down here. So if you would like to come into the extended, you can do that a couple of ways. You can purchase this extended outright if you just want to click on the link that is in the pinned comment at the top of all the comments. If you want to come to the membership area, you can get any extension you want for all of the signs. I put them there weekly. So you can get at least 4 per month, but more than that if you're looking at your sun, moon, and your rising. For the price, just more than a price of one of my extendeds. But also I do have private readings open if you're interested in that. I do private readings that are live. I also do them pre-recorded. The pre-recorded readings are as is. You can check my pricing if you click on the link to Hypsee that is in the pinned comment. But also I do the live readings. You can save anywhere between 5 and 75% off when you connect with me live. And you will simply get a discount just for booking in advance. So go check my schedule. Let's find out what is going on here. What else are we talking about in the extended? We've got the Lovers here. Tell me why the Lovers is here. Ooh, it's a choice to shift. Look, I feel like this tower that's here, it's one of my favorite depictions of the tower. It's just beautiful. But it gives me the feeling of nostalgia or beautiful tragedy. I feel like it's your choice. I want to say that you call in the tower, Capricorn. I feel like you're choosing it. You're telling the universe, I'm ready to break this bond or let it go. I feel like you're choosing the tower here. Yeah, you definitely are. Look at that. So sword in hand, the sword of truth, which is right here. And so it feels like in order to heal, 3 of Swords and 1 is 4. In order to heal, you need to be honest and truthful with yourself. And I think and part of that is saying, okay, that was an illusion. They did care about me, or I did have to hang on to that. Some people, it's grief. Maybe you're having a hard time in grief. Maybe you've gotten past finally the 5 stages of grief, and maybe that stage you were stuck on was denial, and maybe you're no longer in denial. We're going to clarify all of this as we go into the extended. If you'd like to go there, you know how to get there. We do have the 3 of Wands. Look, I've done 3 readings today, and the card on the bottom of the deck at the end of the reading has been the 3 of Wands. The earth signs are finally letting go and going into the future. It's time. It's time for you to just leave that back there and go. We've had the eclipse now. It's time. Virgo is showing us how to just clean it out, give away all the old things, and move on to the new cycle. And that's what this is. I'm going to go for now, but I will be back because I'm always back. Hope to see you in the extended. But if I don't, well, I'll just see you again. You guys take care of yourselves. Thanks, Capricorn. Bye-bye.